Is Ash Davis from Beyond Unbroken, and you are watching Richard Metal Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? Episode 216 of Richard Metal Fan Interviews, calling from Zoom, and I'm here with Ashley Davis from Beyond Unbroken. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Well, it's a
Nice.
great, lovely afternoon here in Georgia. How is it over in Cali?
Nice. It's, I mean, I love this weather. It's perfect. It's a little bit gloomy, not too
Yeah,
hot.
yeah, makes me jealous. So it's a little bit chilly. It's like in like the 50s or 60s, but I'd trade with the Cali weather any day.
Oh man, I'd go back to the East Coast if I could for sure.
Yeah,
I love it out that way.
yeah. I've only been to Cali a couple times. I've only been to San Francisco when I was like 13. I went to like the Redwood Forest. Have you ever been there? It's a great place.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I was technically in LA once before, but I was like in a layover going to Hawaii with my mom and dad.
Nice.
Yeah. So kind of
Yeah.
like the format is I want to talk about like your musical history and stuff. So take me back to young Ashley Davis. So kind of growing up, what were the first bands that got you into metal and what made you want to slap at a bass?
Slapping the bass. Oh man. Um, as far as music, to be honest, it came later in life. So the young Ashley was just listening to the music we had in the household. Um, like my grandma loved the Eagles. She loved Aerosmith. Aerosmith was my first concert. It was fucking amazing. But then we had like Alanis Morissette. I would walk home and they'd be listening to country, like a very eclectic group of people. Um, but as far as influences with playing music and metal, that came more so from people I've met in the industry as opposed to like the bands I listened to as a kid.
All right. All right. And do you
Yeah.
remember like the first like heavy band that you listened to
Heavier band, I guess. I was a huge like System of a Down fan. I was a
because you
huge
wanted to?
Thrice fan. Obviously like Linkin Park. My people
Yeah.
in Tahoe used to listen to Guar. They were like heavier than I could even comprehend at that age, but I still loved it. Um, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool because I grew up with like System of a Down was like the band that got me into metal when I was like 12 years
Yeah.
old. First heard Chop Suey and
Yeah.
I've instantly been hooked. Yet to see them live though. Though I know that they're playing this
I
festival, the
have,
Sick
yeah.
I they're playing this festival called Sick New World in April. I'm totally debating on going.
Nice. Is that in Georgia?
No, it's in Las Vegas.
Oh, you're gonna go see Chase?
Maybe
Just
I
kidding.
maybe if I actually was telling him about it when I interviewed him and I've been to Vegas twice. I went to a festival called Psycho Las Vegas. I went there last year and the year before. I mostly saw like a lot of death metal bands, black metal bands. I saw like Emperor, Merciful Fate. I actually saw like Bone Thugs and Harmony. That was like my first ever rap show actually.
Yes.
And then
Nice.
I remember seeing like Jizza and Raekwon. They did like a bunch of like Wu-Tang songs. I thought that was
Mhm.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of wish like the foods and drinks weren't expensive, but what do you expect? It's Las Vegas.
Yeah. Just got to get on a different eating schedule and eat when you get back to the
Yeah, or
hotel.
try to like go to like a cheap stores like Walgreens or something to get food.
Yep.
Yeah.
Snacks all day. Stash some alcohol in your boot if you wear boots. I probably don't wear boots, but I wear boots. Hot
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah. So what were your bands like before you joined up Beyond Unbroken? I'm always curious about that. I love to hear like the in-depth of that
Yeah. So before Beyond Unbroken, I think it was Michael had reached out to me the second time to see like if I was actually interested in gonna turn in an audition video, and I was with a different band in LA for my first time meeting them. Wrote a couple bass lines, and we went and jammed, and they needed a bassist. Smaller band in LA, and then before that. I was playing music with a couple girls. We had just got a singer. We wanted like all girl band thing, but it kind of just fell through. As far as my previous band experience, it's pending. It's like unknown. We never went anywhere with the music. It was a lot of fun. My previous experience has mostly been in studios,
Right.
so I did a lot of studio work.
Also just like still like session bass and stuff.
Actually, I picked up the bass later on,
Oh,
maybe like a couple years ago, actually, fairly recent. In the studio I worked in, I did a lot of harmonies, backup vocals, second ear for the production side of things. I was brought on as a creative um, director and ended up moving into like associate producer side of things and being that ear that can come in when they needed a second opinion on things, and got to work with some really cool artists, and it was fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
sort of like being like a producer. Like I always consider like the producer kind of like the fifth member or the sixth member of the band, or if you're in Slipknot, like the 10th member, to
Right.
sort of like know what how the con how this how everything should be lined up in like the context of the song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And then how did you end up getting the gig in Beyond Unbroken? Because I've interviewed like Michael yesterday, and I think they were like trying to like high five auditions and it replace like an ad, and then I guess they found you.
yeah, Michael reached out to me through a band webpage. I just like we ended things with my last band, and 2 days later, Michael sent a message and asked what my experience was like and that they were looking for a bass player to potentially play a show in Vegas. Maybe if you can sing backup vocals as well, but not like a permanent member kind of thing, just like a we're looking for a bass player for the show and possible backup vocalist. So yeah. Then
Yeah,
messaged him back the next day. I was like, fuck it. Why not?
yeah, because I know like you and Chase sort of like joined at the same time. So what was I think I was asking Chase this, but I was curious like what was like your first impression of him?
Of Chase?
Yeah, yeah, were you like, "Hi, I'm Ashley."
Hey. No, well, probably because I was a nervous wreck, obviously. But Chase just has this energy. Um, it's like really welcoming. He's just a cool dude. You could tell that right off the bat. You probably could tell meeting him in the interview that he's just like he's down to earth,
Yeah,
very
he's a cool guy.
accepting. Yeah. So I mean, if anything, he's the one that like pieces us
Yeah.
together with his great personality and just
Yeah, and I feel like your addition to the band because I've seen like on your some of the stuff on your Instagram, you like adding like sort of like harmonies like old songs like with the Without Me, and it actually sounds really great. Great. I feel like it's like another like icing on the cake.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we love doing it too. It's coming in and them having their album out before and a whole catalog of music, I'm not gonna we're not gonna go in and re-record anything, but I mean we will eventually play these songs live and to be able to run through that together and rehearse it and like what we're hearing, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, but
Adds a
like
different
here,
element.
yeah, but hearing it like in like the like a studio like perfectly, it just like lines up perfectly. It makes me wonder, like, man, I really wish you were in the band like sooner, because actually
Oh,
makes the songs even more kind of, I guess, more fuller or kind of richer. It's hard to describe.
it just elevates the sound a little bit. I
Yeah,
think our vocals, mine and Brian's, as we've learned, which like, I didn't even know I was going to be a vocalist in this band, but our voices mesh really well together and they complement each other well. So it's huge, you know.
yeah. I think I was telling like everybody else like it would be cool because I know like on the latest single you all had like vocal parts. It would be cool if like you take like the Beatles kind of route or the Kiss route where you have like a song where one member sort of like takes over lead vocals, like because everybody has like different voices. So I figured like the tonality of it might sound very unique or make something very different.
Yeah, that'd be super fun. Or we could all just like trade voices and I could be Michael for a day and he could be Brian for a day or Monty and then switch with Chase and we could all perform using the other member's voice. That'd be fun.
Yeah. So tell me about like your first song with the band, "Blood on My Hands," because
Yeah.
first heard that, of course, the new era of Beyond Unbroken, and just like when you like joined the band, were you like looking at like the other albums, like Running Out of Time, or even the Don't Wake Me Up EP, be like, this is what I need to do, or did you wanted to bring sort of like your own sort of mix into Beyond Unbroken?
I didn't really know what to expect as far as, the creative side and writing together kind of thing. Because, at first it wasn't really like I'm gonna be an official member. It was just come play a show. Um, but I mean, as time goes on, I guess I can bring just that different element vocally, like you mentioned, make the sound more full, richer. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's to be determined at this point.
Yeah.
We found where we click, we found where we thrive as a band, and we're here now. We all click, and I'm excited for what's to come. But as of right now, I really don't have any direct answers as far as what I'm going to eventually bring to the band.
Yeah.
Because I've kind of learned a lot lately, like about myself in this process and grown a shit ton, so I don't know. To put a limit on that would be
Yeah, yeah, because like Blood on My Hands still is one of the best songs. It's a lot more darker compared to like their previous work, and I know recently it got picked up on Sirius with Jose Megan. So how awesome was that to like have your song on radio?
that was really cool. I mean, I've listened to Octane forever. I listened to Octane at, my job that pays for all this stuff all day. So to see it come up on Instagram, I was like, wait, is this real? Am I getting punked right now? Does that say blood on my hands? No, it was a cool experience for me.
Yeah, yeah, and then of course you did that recent collab with the Andromeda Break the Cycle, which I think that was a really great song. So how did they reach out to you guys and be like, hey, let's do a song together?
Well, I didn't know. I don't think that they were even considering collaborating for a song until I actually went to the studio, maybe like 2 or 3 days later, and they were like, "This is what we've been doing for 2 days. How does this sound?" And they showed me like the lyrics and the melody ideas, and I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, especially like in the chorus, like with you and Brian, like I could definitely hear your voice really well, and I hear Chase a little bit because it's almost hard because I try to like listen closely, but I feel like Chase and Brian's vocals kind of sound very similar, but I could definitely hear you in the mix, and I feel like you blend perfectly with everybody.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, we're still at the beginning stages, so to hear compliments like that or feedback like that, I mean, it's a solid foundation.
Nice, nice. And seeing that we already have two songs out, what's like the status with the new album? Like I'm getting more and more excited. Like I told Michael yesterday, like I'm ready to pre-order the new album. Like you all deserve my
Sweet.
money.
Oh man, that's great. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Um,
anytime, anytime.
with the new album, I we just signed or we just partnered up with Fix, so we're going to be releasing new content like at least every couple months max, and then it will be a new album eventually. As far as what we decide to put out, like you never really know. Like everybody's so broad and stylistic, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting. I don't think it's gonna be predictable. I mean, they have their specific style, but they're also willing to like evolve and try new stuff. And when it works, it really works. And I hope that we're just proud of everything we put out.
Yeah, yeah. Do you ever have to like talk with everybody to figure out like what's the next like single? Be like, okay, this sounds like this could be good, good. Like, how do you all like decide like, okay, what's the song we're gonna put out next?
So, I mean, even Blood on My Hands, when I got to take it back to Blood on My Hands, when I met them, they had just finished recording. Michael had just finished doing the screams for Blood on My Hands, and he was like, all sore and can barely even talk. But really, I was just in that video and
Yeah.
kind of learned a little bit about it the night before and went into the video like, all right, I
Yeah, I
got
heard
this.
I was talking to Michael yesterday, and he was kind of like almost kind of like being like a director, be like, "You need to do it like this, do it like
Yeah,
this."
I love it. I love the constructive criticism, like the uh motivation, like, and I don't know. He can yell at me all he wants. It
Yeah.
was pretty fun. I heard it too, but I was like, I don't hear him, but I'm gonna hit hard right here because he's yelling at me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love direction like that. It really helped out.
Yeah.
But just like that video, me coming into it, a majority of the stuff that we've discussed, potentially putting on the next album, they've had in their endless catalog of demos. Um, so it's kind of just figuring out what's the best of the best that they have, and allowing everyone to kind of um, just build off of that and see where we take it. But we've had many conversations of what to do next, and it's back and forth, back and forth. They just have a lot of good. They have a lot of good stuff.
Right. Right. And kind of like talking about like your approach to bass. And I know that you've heard like all the bass player jokes and the memes and stuff, but I love how you don't gravitate towards flashy bass playing, but instead you find ways to link what Michael and Monty are doing with the melody and what Chase is doing with the rhythm, but in a way that's very creative. So what is like your approach to bass?
My approach, I mean, in general with bass, I fell in love with it because of the fact that I was able to, you know, play it and sing at the same time because I started on guitar, and guitar is a little bit more technical when it comes to playing and singing. But I picked up a bass because one of my bands, like, we had three guitar players and no bass player, so I decided to pick up the bass, and just allowed me to be free vocally, performance wise. For some reason, I just clicked with it. And as far as not being a flashy and I'm not gonna. I don't think the guys will put a massive, crazy bass solo in the middle of one of our Beyond Unbroken songs because that's their job.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just there for the connection and the vibe and the feel. And I love how free I feel when I play bass. And it doesn't have to be honestly, if I did get too technical with the bass while performing, you could probably see it in my head.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
because you're not
there's
like
just,
in a tech death band.
yeah, it's just there's a certain freedom that I have as a musician and an artist when I'm playing bass and singing at the same time. So I think in this specific band, just kind of adding that frequency underneath the all the super gnarly riffs that they're playing in solos, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
it's
because
enough.
I feel like the bass is important. I remember because I remember there was like one comment that I saw online saying like a band without a bassist is like a cheeseburger without like the ham and the patty in the middle.
I guess, you do. There's certain things you get out of a bass that you can't get out of a guitar. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
And yeah, and in terms of like singing and playing at the same time, do you ever try to like especially if like writing songs, do you ever try to like practice like be like, okay, where my hands are for where I'm singing like do 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 do.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're gonna be singing in the same key kind of that the song's in, so you can only go so far on the instrument as well. So yeah, it guides you if that's what you're asking. It kind of
Yeah.
guides you vocally.
Yeah, yeah, because I've been asked, I always ask like musicians that play and sing. I always like hearing like because I'm pretty sure I asked like 10 different people, I get like 10 different answers every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then kind of another question I'm always curious about is like your rig because I've heard like your bass tone. It sounds very beefy. So I'm always curious like what's like your rig setup in terms of like basses that you use, strings, amps, pedals, and all that good
Oh
hoo-ha.
yeah. Yeah. So mhm, I had like I bought my first my first bass that I bought in the first band when I decided to pick up a bass was like a Gretsch short scale, like a $300 bass. Super twangy sounding, like I fucking hated it, but it got me comfortable with the bass. And then I picked up a Schecter Ultra. Um, I love it because it's like a thin C shape, and sometimes I have to stand there and hold a bass for a very long time. Um, and it's not that heavy. It's a good, decent performance bass. And then I even picked up a lighter one, the Stiletto, Schecter Stiletto Stealth. Love that. And then as far as my rig here in my studio, I have, the Ampeg cabs and the SVT Pro um, amp. Um, but at the studio, they have the FX or
Hmm.
Axe effects there, so that kind of does everything for you. Um, Over there, I just use a DI Ampeg DI and go direct in.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And when it terms of like singing versus playing, do you ever try to like express like a different side of you, like singing versus also playing? Is it almost kind of like two different sides of you in a way?
I think they go hand in hand for me at least. Yeah, they go hand in hand in general. Um, I actually like I started writing music on my laptop production wise, like Studio One. Logic is what I use now, but mostly when I started writing it was digital. And then translating that, like what I was actually writing on a computer, playing guitar, and then vocals over the top. It was all kind of like hand in hand for me. Like, yeah. Does
Right.
that make sense?
Yeah, totally. So, kind of in the end, Ashley, to sort of wrap things up, what's next for Beyond Unbroken? Like, I know you mentioned you're working on new music. Zick, is there like anything else you'd like to promote?
um, Anything else I'd like to promote?
Yeah, or plug or whatever.
Uh, I don't know. What as far as what's next for the band?
Yeah,
I'm not sure how much I'm able to say.
yeah,
We have a lot of good things in the making. Recently, we've had amazing like opportunities. I'm excited for what's to come. I don't know like the boundaries of what I'm allowed to say and not to say at
right.
this
Just
point,
keep
but
keep our eyes peeled.
yeah, it's been fun.
Nice. So, thank you, Ashley, for this conversation. I'm glad to be able to interview all four members. There's just any final words you want to say to the viewers that are watching us to close this out?
Yeah, I mean, everyone that I mean, thank you to everyone who's even like, or you actually, for wanting to hear about my story.
Anytime,
With the
anytime.
bands and my people, all my small town friends, family that have like shown up just to show like the amazing support that they've shown lately, recently, since I've joined this band has been huge to me. Such an inspiration for me to like keep pushing forward and growing as a musician and with the band. Thank you guys.
Nice. So, everybody, Ashley Davis from Beyond Unbroken. See you next time.
Bye.